Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and I just got done doing my 15 miles on my bike. My garage is finished, my factory is finished. So let's take a quick tour of the factory, which is not much to see, and take a look and see what's growing in the garden. And there's a lot of flowers out this time of year too. Those are kind of cool. Okay, let's start with the front door. Dwight put this in yesterday, and I've had trouble with these types of doors before, not going smooth, but this one's nice. Let's go inside and take a look. Now, there's not a lot to see in here. You can see that when they put the trusses in, they have a floor truss type thing that reinforces the floor. So the floor is extremely rigid upstairs. And this is the doorway into my factory. And when this is all cleaned out in here, this will be the factory. It's got to be wired, insulated, and benches have got to be put in before I can move in, as well as the heating system. So that's pretty much that. There's the garage door. We got a nice insulated door there. And this side, I believe, is where I'm going to rebuild the Volkswagen for right now. That's my plans. And the big bonus was that because I went with the big trusses, neat staircase, the really wide trusses, I've got as much room upstairs as I have downstairs, or very close to it. You can see I have a really big area up here, and I have 8 feet of ceiling clearance as well. Okay, let's go out in the garden, and which is just over here. Let's whip up real quick and look at the weather vane. Got to step out a little bit. Bob put that on the roof yesterday. That's kind of cool. And over here, one lone poppy plant, and this whole area right here is catnip. Now the girls have come out, and there was probably as much above those wires as there was below, so they took pretty much everything above the wires and cut it off, and they're drying that. We raise our own catnip for the cats, and the cats just love it. So let's run out here to the garden and see if we can find anything. She's taken a lot of stuff out of the garden, but I'm sure there's a little something left to look at. And right at the base of the garden is my windmill. That's kind of cool. Okay, we got tomatoes that we're starting to pick them now, and you can see that there's quite a few tomatoes out here. If you look around here, you can see they're all over the place in there. Down in here, all kinds of tomatoes. And big tomatoes. There's a ripe one over there. See the little bit of red there? She's picked a few out of here. And over here she's basically picked all the cucumbers, but there's a few down in there. They're European cucumbers, so they're long and thin. I really like them. And she's got peppers here. We picked a lot of peppers, but you can see there's still peppers out here growing. I think we're going to have quite a few peppers. And these nasturtiums are just cosmetic. I think they help keep the bugs out. Those and these flowers here. This is, over here is a stand of soybeans, which she's going to pick and freeze for edamame, which is nothing more than fresh soybeans. And then over here, Got some more peppers. And in here we have zucchini. Now, she just picked zucchini, so I don't know if there's any left in here or not for me to get a picture of. I'm sure there is, and there's one right there. There we go. There's a zucchini right down there. There's a lot more in here. I just can't see them. So that's a basic tour of the garden, which is kind of crazy, but we get a lot of stuff out of here. We really enjoy ourselves. So that's basically the garden. Another poppy plant. So that's basically the grand tour for today. People were asking for the grand tour. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about a stove, so let me go in the shop and get a stove and show you what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the BIOS, so let me run in and grab one out of the drawer and come back out and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, there's been some confusion on the store, with people on the store, about which BIOS I'm selling. Now, the BIOS I'm selling on the store is the original BIOS. Before I did all the stuff to it, I did. It's original BIOS 1. It's simply the BIOS with the wick, one-piece stove inverted in on itself. I have added the vents at the top so there's no way it can build pressure inside anymore and boil over. But I do not have the bumps on the top anymore, and I don't have the small jets. The reason for that is I prefer the larger jets because it's a hotter stove. It's not as efficient, but it's not that big a difference. And the bumps on top, which I had to hold the stove, to hold the pot off the stove so it wouldn't sniff it out if you put a cold pot on it. The pot didn't set well on those bumps. I really wasn't happy with it, and the stove looked butt ugly with it on there. It's a much better looking stove this way. And, you know, to be fair, if you put the pot over the flame for 15 seconds and take the chill off it, you can set it right on anyway. So I decided to go back to the original BIOS 1, just standard jetting, inside jetted with a wick, and that's the one I sell in the store now. So if there's any questions, that's the BIOS I sell. I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, cook some really great meals on your alcohol stoves, do some baking, and more important than anything, have a really great day. Bye-bye.